Friends, I hope you can hear me. Um, I'm starting a new initiative from today, and this initiative is about positive thinking. We are all stranded at home. We are all at home, and we are working from home. And during this time, every day in the morning, when you open the door, you get the newspaper, and you open the newspaper, and you see that there are so many more new cases of coronavirus found. There are many more people who have died. And on top of that, you can't go out. On top of that, when you open the news channel, the only thing that you see is negative news, people being beaten up because they are not behaving in a proper way or in a responsible way. In the middle of all of this, it's very difficult for us to stay positive, which is why this podcast focuses on being positive throughout this time. And if any of my friends have joined this podcast now, I know it's a little bit late. Earlier, I had tried to do the same podcast at 4 o'clock. However, the demo didn't work at all because the mic was not working. So here I am giving it a second shot on the first day of the Positivity podcast. Well, yesterday, PM Narendra Modi ji, he had done a live session where he announced that the entire country will be under lockdown for 3 weeks. And we all know that. But the question is, a few people must be thinking, how do I kill this time? How do I kill these 3 weeks of time? Should I binge watch Netflix? Should I watch every movie on Amazon Prime? Or what should I do? Should I just play games? Well, our lives actually depend on the questions that we ask ourselves. And our mind is an answering machine. If you ask yourself, hey, why can't I do this? Your mind is going to give you 10 different reasons on why you can't do that simple activity. On the contrary, if you ask yourself, how can I do this? No matter how difficult the task is, you will get some answers. Which is why the quality of the questions that we need to ask ourselves in the next 3 weeks is different. It has to be different. And what you should be asking yourself is, how can I use these 3 weeks? What are the things that I have always wanted to do but had never had time? Well, now we have a lot of time on our hands. And there is one more thing which I have realized in the last few days that I have been home is the importance of a routine. If you have an entire day open ahead of you with absolutely nothing to do and you have no plans on what exactly that it is that you want to do, you might get bored very easily. On the contrary, if you make a routine of, let it be as simple as morning, afternoon, and the evening, if you can plan out what it is that you want to do during these times, it becomes much more predictable and you're looking forward to that time. Even better, you split it across into hour and make every hour count. In that case, at the end of the day, you would have a feeling that I have done something today and you need to make a note of it. And that brings me to my next point, that is making notes. I have always wanted to do journaling, and I think this lockdown has given me that opportunity to do daily journals, and I think that's working really well for me. I recommend you to do it as well. How are you staying positive? Hey, Vanita, thank you for joining. I hope you can hear me. If you can, just post a comment because earlier I tried to do this, but it didn't work. So, and looks like the user interface of Facebook has changed as well. So, feedback from the audience would help a lot in this scenario. Every day, I'm going to be coming online and sharing a few tips with you, a few stories with you that will help us to stay positive. So, friends, if you were to write your experience in the quarantine, in the lockdown in 6 words and make it as a hashtag, what would it be? Put that in the comments. What would be your 6 word hashtag? It could be lesser than that as well. It could be simply awesome. It could be I'm getting bored. It could be anything, but put it in words. That definitely helps. So, to recap today's podcast, the first thing is the quality of our questions to ourselves define how we are acting, which is why we need to ask ourselves, how am I going to use these 3 weeks? If there is a book that you've always been wanting to read but you couldn't, you can try to read that. One thing that I want to share with you is I've got a I've got a buddy with me in this lockdown period, and that buddy is none other than Sam Walton. He is the CEO of Walmart, Walton Smart, hence Walmart. And I've been reading his autobiography every day, and I've made it a point to read at least 2 pages, no matter what happens. And it feels like he's telling me his story for the last few days. Maybe you can do the same thing as well. Maybe you can pick up an autobiography and try to read that and make that person as your companion. And another thing about reading is there is one kind of reading where you read the book and you keep all of it in here. But that's the thing with memories, they fade away, which is why what you read, and if you find a good story in that book, share that story with your family. I'm sure they're not going anywhere as well. Just tell them the stories that you are coming across and share that with them, so that let them be a part of your experience as well. I try to do that, and I'm finding it that the more I'm telling Sam's story, the more closer I'm getting to the author of the book, and that's making the entire experience even more enriching. So if there is a story that you came across where you felt that this is really positive, I must share this, please mention that in the comments. I would love to have that. I would love to read that. If you find that there is something that I should talk about, please mention that in the comments as well. And if you have any other feedback on this video, please put that in the video. Please put that in the comments so that I can improve on a daily basis. And I'm sure that we all will get through this period with much more positive impact in our lives. Thank you.